In a remote village on the edge of a dense forest, there stood an old house known as the House of Horrors. This house had been abandoned for decades after a series of mysterious events led to the disappearance of several villagers who dared to enter it. One cold winter night, a young man named Sami, seeking excitement, decided to explore the House of Horrors. The full moon cast a silvery light on the dark forest paths. When Sami reached the gate of the house, he felt a chill run down his spine. But he ignored it and pushed open the heavy wooden door, which creaked ominously. Inside, the furniture was covered in thick dust, the windows were shattered, and the ceiling threatened to collapse. Sami began to explore the rooms one by one, and the deeper he ventured, the more he heard strange noises around him. Suddenly, he heard heavy footsteps approaching from the upper floor. With his heart pounding, he decided to climb the rickety staircase to find the source of the sound. When he reached the upper floor, he found a room lit by old candles with a large mirror in the center. Sami slowly approached and looked into the mirror, but he did not see his reflection. Instead, he saw a dark shadow moving towards him from behind. He quickly turned around, but the room was empty. Feeling genuine fear, he tried to leave the house, but found the doors and windows shutting tightly on their own. At that moment, he heard whispers coming from every direction and felt an unnatural coldness envelop his face. The shadows began to form in front of him, and the house turned into a deadly trap. Sami tried to escape, but found himself trapped between walls that moved and closed in on him. He screamed at the top of his lungs, but his cries were swallowed by the darkness. The next morning, the villagers found the door open and the house empty as before, but there was no sign of Sami. The legend of the young man who disappeared in the House of Horrors remained, warning anyone who dared to enter of a similar fate. As time passed, Sami's story became part of the village lore, told by the elders to the young to warn them from approaching the House of Horrors. But human curiosity knows no bounds, and years later, another group of adventurous youths decided to investigate Sami's disappearance. The group consisted of 4 friends, Majd, Ramai, Leela, and Nada. They gathered at the entrance of the house at sunset, armed with strong flashlights and cameras to document their experience. Everyone was tense, but their determination to uncover the truth drove them inside. As they entered the house, things took a strange turn. The abandoned furniture and dark rooms were as Sami described, but this time the sounds were clearer, as if the house was pulsating with eerie life. While exploring the first floor, they heard a faint crying coming from upstairs. Encouraged by Majd, who said, "We must go on." There might be someone in need of help. They climbed the stairs slowly, each step heavier than the last. When they reached the upper floor, they found the same candlelit room with the large mirror. They approached the mirror and saw something they did not expect. In the mirror, they saw Sami standing behind them, his face distorted and features broken. The ghost spoke in a hoarse voice, "Help me. I've been trapped here for eternity." The friends tried to communicate with him, but felt a sudden chill engulfing the room, and the shadows began to move again. The shadows formed a circle around them, and the walls started closing in. Just as with Sami, Leela, in her panic, dropped her flashlight, plunging them into complete darkness. In that moment, they knew they had to escape at any cost. They ran towards the stairs, but the house kept shifting, making their escape route more complex. Miraculously, they managed to find the exit after a fierce struggle with the moving shadows. They emerged from the house, breathless and terrified, as the door slammed shut behind them. They returned to the village with a new terrifying story, warning the villagers of the dangers of the House of Horrors. The house became more deserted than ever, with the strange sounds inside fading away, but the mystery of Sami's disappearance remained unsolved, etched in the memory of anyone who dared to come near that haunted house.